Today's guest is Karen Geller, an accomplished media professional with more than 2 decades of experience across both agency and client-side roles. Her career spans boutique shops, global advertising agencies, and her work at Chorus Entertainment. Today, she's a senior media manager at Diageo, shaping strategy for iconic global brands like Johnnie Walker, Guinness, Smirnoff, Captain Morgan, and Bailey's. But what stands out just as much as her industry expertise is her commitment to giving back. Karen also teaches at Seneca College, where she's shaping the next generation of media thinkers and leaders. I'm excited for this conversation, so let's jump in. Karen Geller.
Paul Gittins.
Gells, I like to call you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of the Who Project.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
Man, when I do prep work for the show, I go back and I'm like, well, if I know somebody, how long have I known them?
Mm-hmm.
And I go through like my history, our history. And what are we talking, like 23 years?
Probably more.
That's
a long
long time.
Very long time.
You were just a kid.
Young and skinny.
Before marriage, before kids.
Yeah. Before debt.
Before debt.
Before stress. Life was an easier time.
Yes, we were young and full of piss and vinegar. Man, that is wild to me. When you get to a certain age or midlife, as I say, and you think back of the people and the connections that you've made, and having this great fortune to sit down and have these conversations with you, I'm blown away.
Aww.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away because I've watched your career and I've watched it blossom, where you were an assistant and a planner and then management, right? Director.
Mm-hmm.
And then taking the big leap and leaving Chorus after 18 years?
18 years, you got it right.
That took an immense amount of courage. And I'm sure it took a lot of support from family, lots of conversations, I'm sure.
And friends like you that helped guide. Yes.
Thank you. It blows my mind what you've done and done it with such grace in all these years and so well respected by folks. Everybody that I talk to about Karen Geller, really, really high regard.
God, you make me blush.
Kudos to you. And here's I'm giving you your flowers today because I think we spend so much of our time just trying to get ahead, just trying to, in some cases, survive in some years,
yeah.
Right? And others thrive, right? And you think about your career trajectory, man, you've got a lot to be proud of. And I'd love to unpack that today with you, right? What you need to, I want you to think about yourself and what you've accomplished. This is your moment. So,
which is crazy because I'm used to the one giving the flowers, not getting it back. So this is going to be very different for me today.
Good. Well, different's good.
Yeah.
I always say, growth occurs at the end of your comfort zone, right? So maybe we might push it a little past your comfort zone today. We'll see. We'll have some fun. Let's just have a conversation. What the hell, right? So I talked about family because in my mind's eye, your family is so important. It's so important to who you are, how you were raised, the relationship that you have with them now, the relationship you had with them before, and what happens in between kind of shapes you to who you are today.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. And I know that you come from a close-knit family.
Very close.
Yes. There's a quote from Maya Angelou, and it says, to understand a person's journey, you have to start with the soil they grew from, the stories, the sacrifices, and the roots that gave them strength. So when I was thinking about that quote, when I read it, I thought, that's you, right? Like to me, that's you, because we'll get into how close a knit family you are. But I wanted to start, if we could just level set and start with, what generation Canadian is your family?
Well, it depends. So my dad was born and raised in Canada.
Okay.
And my mom was born and raised in Israel. And,
I love these stories.
and that's where they met.
They met in Israel?
They met in Israel. My dad worked for IBM Canada, and he was like a World Trade auditor in his younger days, and Israel was one of his stops. He was there for a few months. She saw him in the lobby of the building, and 3 months later, they got married.
3 months?
3 months.
Wow, he wasn't
No
messing
joke.
around, was he?
No, that's it. I guess when you know, you know.
He took her off the market, and she took him off the market like that.
Yeah. She left her family and came here.
You know, that's really interesting. You can know somebody for 23,
still-
24 years, and there's so many things that you don't know. And when you hear them, you go, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Because one of my questions was gonna be like, as long as I've known you, every year, you, with your family, traveled back to Israel. And it's always in the summertime, right? It's always summer?
Every summer when we were younger.
Summer.
Yeah.
Right? And Geller's like, I'm gone. I'll see you in a few weeks.
See you in 3 weeks.
Right? And then you got married.
Yeah.
Right? And then it became you and Avery. Then it became you and the boys and Avery. And I like, so to me, when I think about this, I'm like, okay, does this make sense? Can I connect these dots for a second? The reason you go back is because your parents actually met there.
They met there, and my whole family is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where her roots are, right? And she always wanted to give us a taste of where she came from. And it was just so I never went to summer camp. We all, like me and my brother, she would take us there. My dad would still be working. I've got 2 brothers and a sister, so 4 of us traveled on our own, and we would spend a month there every summer.
So what did that, those trips, what did that mean for you? Like how did that connect with you growing up?
You can ask all the tough questions today. It was, it meant a lot. It was something we looked forward to every summer, just knowing that we'd get to hang out with our cousins and all our family and just be away from the everyday grind here and just kind of reconnect as a family. That's what it was for us.
Did it change at all when you had your own family?
Traveling did, because it costs more to go there.
Yeah.
But no, it's still all about family to me. And your memory is still sharp as a tool. You still remember things from many, many years ago. But yes, family is my number one. That is my core value. Everybody knows I do everything for and with my family. Like my parents, we live together. We travel together. My mom is my best friend, and so is my dad, right? So I trust them more than I trust anybody else. And I try and teach my kids that family is the most important. And just seeing my parents with my kids, it just brings me so much pride, right? Just to see how they are. What a close relationship, because I didn't get that close relationship with my grandparents because they were in Israel. They were so far away.
There's a lot to unpack there. Because when I think about that, I think about when I was a kid, and so my dad's sister had these apartments on the beach in Barbados, and I would go as a kid, right? And then being able to take my kids, it was such a proud moment for me, right? Because that sand, right? That beach, that's where I ran around as a kid, and then to see Jay and Cole and Justine, all of them.
It's tradition, right? It becomes a tradition at that point, and it's something that you want to carry through the family. And we're big on that.
So when's the last time you've been back?
So, I wish I was back a lot more, but because of everything that's happening there, obviously, in the last few years, the war. But I'd say the last time I went was when Ryan was 5, so 10 years ago, 11 years ago. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah. Just life got in the way.
And life happens.
Life happens, but I am planning to go next summer and start these traditions again. I took them when they were really young, and now I want to take them when they're older, when they can appreciate it more.
So without going too deep, how has your family been affected by the conflict?
Very affected.
Yes.
Well, we've got my husband's whole family, his side. His sister lives in Israel. She moved when Ryan was born, so 16 years ago. And all her kids fight in the war. They're in the army there. So yes, everybody is affected because they're all right there.
I just said it's Ryan 16.
Ryan is 16, I know.
I'm sorry, stop the interview. What did you just say?
He just got his license, his G1. Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
Oh, man. Or you're pregnant. These guys 16.
I know, time flies. But yeah, so yes, we're all affected by it. Obviously, we're worried about what's going on there, our family there. But we get through it somehow.
Okay. So I was thinking about this, and I've heard so many stories about you and your siblings and whatnot, right? And your dad, right? And your mom. And it seems to me like you've come from a family of high achievers. Okay, there's you. Let's start with you, right? You went and cracked this, you know, Canadian media corporate world, right? Never knew anything about it.
No,
Just went into it, right? Just went dug in and moved your way up through the ranks to where you are today. Correct me if I'm wrong, director of media planning at one of the world's largest alcohol brands.
not director, but close.
Okay. Okay.
Senior manager
Senior
there, but
manager.
yes,
Okay.
coming from director position at
Yeah.
Chorus.
So that is, to me, that is wild. So you not only started off as an assistant and worked the agency side,
Mhm.
large agency, small agency, then moved strategically to client direct.
Yep.
Right. And spend 18 years on the client direct side, which, by the way, for those listening, so many people would dream of doing, right? Or would love to do, as their career moves on, they think about going client side, and you got that opportunity. And then again, making that shift, right, to where you are
Mhm.
now. And then is your sister, she's a lawyer,
Yeah, divorce lawyer.
divorce lawyer. And you have your entrepreneur brothers,
Yep.
both of them, right? One in telco and the other one as a YouTuber.
YouTuber.
Yes.
Teaching people how to make music.
That is wild to me in so many ways that, everybody's doing something different
Mhm.
and everybody's excelling at what they're doing.
Or at least trying to. Well, that's when it all comes from my parents, right?
Well, that's where I was
Yep.
going with this, right? What was the driving force? Like, did you guys feel an overwhelming sense of pressure to be successful growing up?
I wouldn't say it was a pressure. We just saw how hard my parents worked. My mom didn't come from much in Israel. My dad came from regular background here, but my dad told me like he started at the mailroom when he was at IBM, and he worked his way up to be treasurer of IBM Canada, and then traveled the world and he even worked for like the US as well. And I feel like I'm traveling a little bit in his
Good on
footsteps
him.
reporting into the US, but just seeing how hard my parents worked to just give us a better life than they had, we just saw that they just never stopped. My mom's like famous quote is she's like, "I'll rest when I'm in the grave." She doesn't have time to rest now. But they just instilled that hard work ethic in us,
Mhm.
and that whatever we put our minds to, we could do it. So they would never settle for anything less than a failure. So maybe there was a little bit of intrinsic pressure there, but we didn't feel it directly. I think we just wanted to model their work ethic.
So who was the tougher parent?
My mom, for sure.
Did they play like good cop, bad cop with you guys?
No, my mom's just the bad cop all the time. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. She'll kill me.
So there was but there's always a focus on success. Did you ever like push back on that? Like, did you ever resent it, or is it just no? Like, this is the way it is. This is how our family operates, and
No, you're making me think back. I don't think I ever resented it. I was firstborn, so I always felt like I'm the oldest of the four siblings. So I always felt that I just had to do well. I had to show an example, right? And be that leader for them and like set the ground, set the footsteps for them to see that, you know what, I can do it too, then you can do it. So I always felt that I just had to excel. That was just in my nature, was to just be the best at whatever I was doing.
okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then: what do you think? And I know we kind of skirted around it, but this is a really pointed question. Like, what do you think fuels your family's success? Is it faith? Is it discipline? Is it your community?
It probably is a mixture of a lot of different things. I will say, I think they just take a lot of pride in what they do, right? So I think they love what they do. Both my parents, like they're still working. I don't think they're ever going to retire. They just love it. And I think they'll just be bored if they stop working. So I think it's pride. It could be community because the community does like push you to the limits to make sure you're always working at your best. But I think it's also just about providing what they didn't get for their family. Sometimes my mom will go overboard because she lacked as a child. So she really tries to just give us everything she didn't have. And I think they'll never stop. You know what I mean?
It's interesting what you just said. That she's pushing because of what she didn't have as a child, right? And that kind of leads me into that whole self-perception aspect of how we see ourselves. There's a quote I love, and it reads, "We learn to measure our worth long before we understand what self-worth really means."
Mhm.
And that just stuck with me because when I think about my self-worth and how I saw myself, man, that is that hits home big time for me,
Mhm.
right? Because you to me, self-worth was external validation. It wasn't what I felt about myself. So I've done that work to work through that. Let me ask you a question.
I think it takes somebody to point it out to you before you start to realize it, right?
Mm.
You're never gonna realize your self-worth on your own until you get older, and through all my discussions with you too, and through other people, like, that is close to us, you need those hype people around you, because once they hype you up, then you're like, "You know what? I am doing good.
Yeah.
I am showing up," right? But sometimes you don't realize it because 'cause you're so in it all the time.
Oh, we just burrow through life.
Yeah.
That's what we do, right? We just burrow through it, and we don't come up for air. Did you think that being a Jewish Canadian woman, did it shape how you saw yourself in corporate Canada? Did it shape how you saw yourself in school or social settings? Do you walk with that?
I don't I mean, yes, my identity does shape me. I'm not a very religious person though, per se,
Okay.
but I was raised in a Jewish family, Jewish household with traditions. I was sent to private school to keep the tradition, the holidays, the language. My mom's from Israel. I need to learn how to speak Hebrew. And I actually continue that with my kids today because of how I was raised. So my kids still go to Jewish school, both through elementary and public school, and it does shape it. When I think about it, because the Jewish community is really that. It's a community, and it's all about helping each other out. It's about pushing yourself, persevering. It's about learning all the time. You know, my rabbis would kill me, but when they talk about the Torah and the Talmud and how they constantly kind of they push themselves to just keep learning and innovating all the time. So I'd say, yes, that does motivate me a little bit through the community. And there was one more point, but I forgot now. This is
Okay.
this is perimenopause hitting at its finest.
Oh, good. It's just a real good conversation.
But yes, it does. I don't say being Jewish identifies me. I think it's just the values that the Jewish community brings.
Mm.
As you know, the Jews, we wandered in the desert for 40 years, but yet we found our home and we settled. So it's just that perseverance and that resiliency that I think that Jewish community and into my family, they've kind of instilled that into us as well.
I love that.
Hmm.
One of the things I didn't mention is you also teach.
Yes, Seneca.
Yes. So I was, as a female leader,
Hmm.
right, in corporate Canada, one of my questions to you is like, how do you bring that sense of yourself to teaching at Seneca? Like, how do you bring that authentic Karen? Or do you feel like there's something that you need to be different? Or do you just bring yourself when
No,
you're teaching?
yeah, no, it's a great question. And I really I don't try to be anybody that I'm not because I think people will see through it. Like I said, I came here. I'm my true authentic self. I'm wearing mismatched socks for a leader in the Canadian industry. I'm still a mom of two.
Well,
I'm
hey,
still a
the
mess
other
on
folks
the
are doing it.
on the weekends. But I just like to be myself, and that's the way I pride myself too with how I guide my team and lead my teams. It's the same with my students. I always wanted to be I wanted to be lead the way I wanted to be led. So the way I wanted to learn is the way I want to teach the future students. So I was just open, honest, say it like it is. I don't sugarcoat things. I tell them the truth,
That's
right?
true,
And I think
folks.
they valued that. That was what I took pride in. I learned that I really love to teach and just learning from the students from all around the world that came here, right? Because they were all immigrants into the country, but they've all came from great backgrounds, like CPG backgrounds back in India or in China or in the Philippines. And I just learned so much from them that even shapes who I am today. So I think it's like making these relationships and just learning about everybody and taking the time and just being your true self. You start to learn and you start to bring out the values of everybody brings into what you do too. So
I love that.
I'm just myself.
I love that. To me, that's the sign of a true leader,
Mhm.
right? You can have the self-awareness to believe that there are other people that you could learn from, right? And you can take the time to understand who they are and make connections. So to me, that's super important. And geez, it's such a juxtaposition from how we came up. You're right.
No, I know
Yeah.
if the leader was the leader, that's it. They
Yeah.
were the boss,
Yeah.
right? And
Enough said.
that's it. And you couldn't question or anything. But no, I want to hear other people's viewpoints. I want to hear how they see it, right? Because everybody brings value to the table and they all see things differently. And I think too, that's kind of like one of my superpowers is I get to see both sides and I look at it in every way possible, but through the eyes of everybody and understand it. And I don't judge. I'm not that Karen, but
I love that you can see that and articulate it, right? That's that's one of your superpowers. I think that's beautiful.
I try.
Now, is this something that you've always thought about, or is it something that when I asked you, about, and we talk about superpowers, like, is this something that you go, oh, shoot, I never thought of that? Because I remember somebody saying it to me and I was like, oh, well, superpowers, like, what the hell's that? Like, and then we started doing the work and I started realizing that, oh, that's the thing that's innate to you.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, you're right. It's come up maybe in the last few years. I don't think I would have thought of it beforehand.
Love it.
But as you start to become a leader and you're like, okay, well, what can I bring to this team and what can I teach? That's when you start to think about it. And it's what people are saying about you, right? And people always tell me, it's like, oh, you make me feel so comfortable and at ease that I can tell you everything and you see it from all sides and you give me good advice. And they actually go and take that advice and then they come back and say, hey, it worked, right? So it's just everybody wants to feel that they're like your number one priority. And that's what I try and do is I just try and listen and make everybody feel like they're important too.
Did you always want to be a leader?
Well, funny story is I want to be a lawyer. So maybe a little bit in a way. Yes, I've always wanted to be a leader. One day I want to run my own agency.
Okay.
That's always been a goal.
Love it.
But I fell into this industry. When I wanted to be a lawyer, Osgood went on strike and I'm like, shit, what am I going to do for a year? And that's where my work ethic came in. I wasn't going to travel for a year. I wasn't going to take time off. I talked to my parents. I said, hey, I found this program that seemed really interesting. Took this post-grad program at Humber, 1 year advertising media sales, and boom, almost 23, 24, 25 years later, I'm still in it and I still love it. I love what I do.
You're thriving. So I don't even know, like that's sort of falling into something done extremely well.
Thank you.
This leads me into like our pillar that I want to talk about, because I talk about this truth framework, right? And when I thought of having you on the show and asking you to come on the show, immediately I thought transcending limited beliefs. Wow, what can Karen teach me about that? What tidbits can she leave the audience with? There's a quote from Brene Brown. We all know and love Brene Brown. I read her book, The Gifts of Imperfection. And in her book, she wrote, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing we'll ever do.
And that is so true. When you asked me to come here, I'm like, why? Why the hell does he want me? What do I have to offer on this podcast? I'm not that exciting, but you have to trust and you have to know that we're all imperfectly perfect, right? And I own that.
I love that. I love it because we all have an internal narrative, right? That'll tell us that we can or cannot do something. And so many times it's about, I can't do it. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that promotion, or I'm not ready to do this or that, and it's all built on past experiences. Part of it could be part of your culture, narratives that you hear from other people and even your own fears, right? So, I like to say that skills may open the door, but beliefs decide whether you walk through it. So you had to believe that you would walk through this journey of media and not only survive it, but continue to thrive, right?
I think I believe it more now than I did 20 years ago. I think I was just going with the flow 20 years ago. But yes, if you don't have the right mindset, then you're not going to get there. And that's why I always tell people, you have to think positively. Right. And I'm not always a positive thinker. Sometimes people say I'm the biggest skeptic.
I was going to ask you about that.
But I have to motivate people. And because I'm a leader, I'm a manager, I'm a teacher, I constantly have to be that positive light for everybody. And I can't show that. That's what people always say about me. They're like, you may be, what do you call those ducks or swans that are swimming in the lake? They're paddling under the water, but they look so calm. Like when I present, they're like, oh my God, Karen, you're like the most calm person. And that makes them feel better. So,
well, that calmness exudes confidence, right? And you have that poker face. I've negotiated with you for many a year. I know that face. You do it with a smile, right? And calmness. And then you end up getting what you want in the end.
Or my mom would just say I'm controlling. But no, it's tough but fair. Tough but fair. That's how my vendors always used to explain it.
Did you ever have any self-sabotaging thoughts?
Always. We're human.
Well, yeah. But
Like,
I mean,
meaning that you couldn't do it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Of course. Look, we're always going to doubt ourselves, right? We'd be lying if we say we never doubt ourselves. Like when I made the jump from chorus to Diageo, I'm like, that's 18 years of a career that I'm leaving behind. Am I really cut out for this, right? Am I going to be able to do it? And then that's where you have to take a step back and put your mind to it, right? And you're like, Karen, I can do it. It's something new. It's exciting. And I already know this stuff. I can just apply it here and continue to learn. When you stop learning, then that's even worse, right? So, yes, I do have self-sabotaging thoughts, but I try and push them away.
Wow. Okay.
Otherwise, I won't succeed, and then I'll be in that negative space.
So if you had to give me one self-sabotaging thought that you've managed to overcome, what would it be?
Just one, just the fear of failure, right?
So how did you push past that?
You know what? If you don't fail, you don't succeed. And I did. There was one point in my career when I went to the sales side, and I thought I could do it and be the best there, and I wasn't. But that's where you start to realize, what are your true colors? What do you really mean? What do you really stand for? What do you really want to do? And you have to do those things before you can start.
Are you listening to yourself right now?
No.
I just want to sit back in it for a second. Wait a second. Are you listening?
No, I hate my voice. I won't
No,
listen.
man, but what you're saying, like, there's so much knowledge. There's so much truth in what you're saying right now. It's unbelievable.
It's funny because then now I'm having self-sabotaging thoughts. Like,
No.
I'm like, really?
Yes.
I sound good? Like,
1000%.
but you just got to be that. Yeah. So we all go through it.
Okay.
And whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know?
How has motherhood reshaped your view of ambition and balance?
I think motherhood has been huge on shaping who I am today. I don't think I would be where I am today for not having my kids and the history that I went through. Obviously, people that are close to me may know about how I've had a lot of struggles kind of having kids. After my first one, it's easy when you're young and, you know, you get pregnant with the first one. I actually had 7 miscarriages, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I learned from it. I didn't get down by it. It made me stronger and it made me who I am today. So if I didn't have those failures, you have to, I say it again, you have to hit rock bottom before you can go to the top. And I think it just makes me stronger because I got to show up. I got to be there. I can never have that down moment as a mom. You just always got to be there for them, positive. Or at least I try to when I'm not yelling, but.
What would you tell 25-year-old Karen today? Like if you could go back in time and have you who you are right now, what would you tell when Karen at 25?
Don't be so shy and timid and step out of your comfort zone. Because I think after having kids, that's when I started to step out of my comfort zone. I realized I was stronger. I've been through some hardships and I did it. I came out of it. And that's where I just became tougher. It's like my mom always told me, stop like being a baby. Because I was like the emotional one, usually when I was young, because I was very shy, very emotional, very sensitive. And she made me get that. She was like Israeli Defense Force, you know, she was in the army. She came from a tough background and she said, I get goosebumps as I'm saying this, but she always says to me, you got to have that thick skin or then people are going to walk all over you. And if you don't go after what you want, you're not going to get it because no one will fight for you except for yourself and your family.
And you bought into this after having your kids?
I think so. I mean, my mom shaped me the way I was, but I think I fell into it more as I got a little bit older. So I'd say when I was probably 30, 28, 29, 30. Not in my younger self.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting to me because, like I said, I've known you a very long time, and I've known you when you were, like I like to say, a kid, right? And it's always really interesting on the way we see ourselves and how other people see us because it's usually very different. Yes?
Very different. Yes.
So I always saw you as intelligent, right? Hardworking, badass negotiator,
Thank you.
right? That fair, honest, like those are like that's how I would describe you.
Mhm.
So it's interesting when I hear that as we all know, if we sit in it and think about it, we all have self-sabotaging thoughts. But for you to tell me that you had them and you really kind of came out on the other side after having
I
children,
think it just made me stronger.
it's wild to me because it was like you were like that person in my mind before the boys.
But we don't think that, right? We don't
Yeah,
think that. I think that
yeah,
I just became stronger
yeah, yeah,
as you grow,
yeah,
life just makes you stronger.
yeah. Well, hey, man, I feel like I've gotten stronger in just the last couple of years. to
There you
be
go.
to be completely honest. So this is the part of the show where I love to get into this rapid fire, where
Mhm.
we shift the energy a little bit, and I ask you a question, and my my ask is you can answer it in one word or one sentence.
Mhm.
And this is the fun part.
All right.
What's the word that best describes how you see yourself today?
Oh, geez. One word that describes myself? Real.
Okay. What's a core value you'll never compromise on?
My integrity.
A moment that instantly grounds you in gratitude.
Wait, I have to tell you a funny story about my integrity.
Oh yeah. Okay, go shoot.
It just shows that I have to have this like credibility and trust. We were at a mall. I was younger. I don't remember how old I was, but I was waiting in line to get an ice cream. And I got the ice cream and I was waiting in line to pay, but there's like 20 people in front of me. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait in this line. That actually walked away with the ice cream. And I didn't pay because it was chaos and they were taking time. And people started to walk. So I started to walk away.
Yep.
And then I was with my mom and I'll never forget. I said, I'm going to go back and pay. And she's like, why? You already walked away. And I said, no, I can't. And I actually went back and I just left the money on the counter. And that just stuck with me, and I just yeah.
It's interesting because my wife will say to our kids, it's integrity is what you do when nobody's looking.
Mhm. Yeah, it's very true.
That's exactly what you just said.
It's very true.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Sorry, now I forgot the next question.
No, a moment that instantly grounds you in gratitude.
It's just my kids, they will always ground me, my kids. As soon as they come in and they just say and they give me a hug or a kiss, I'm like it just grounds me for a second. I'm like, "This is what matters
Yes,
most."
family. Yep. What's one belief you've outgrown?
That I can't do anything I put my mind to.
High five. When do you feel the most like yourself?
When I'm talking to people like you, like true friends that I've developed these relationships. Like, I'd even say that's one of my superpowers is my relationships,
Yes, I agree.
The relationships that you build over these last 20, 25 years in, this industry, it's really shaped who I am today, and I call them my close friends too, and that's
So that was my next question, but thanks for skipping ahead.
sorry. There you go, that's me being the leader and guiding you.
What is my question is going to be is what is your superpower or superpowers?
I'd say one of them is my relationships,
Yes.
obviously, because I always
Yep.
call on those relationships for favors when I need something to get
Mhm.
done and make it happen. I know my agency hates that sometimes, but relationships are key. My other superpower, like I said, is always being calm, being that calm, steady force for not only my family and my friends, but my team. That's one thing because it helps elevate them. And I'd say, obviously, my grit, my work ethic. And the biggest one I'd say is, and my old boss told me this, is my high emotional IQ, very empathetic.
Mhm.
And that's what makes me who I am.
Is this the first time you're writing those down, or is this stuff you just?
No, you challenged me and you made me think about this coming into here. And I mean, it's stuff I knew, but I didn't think about all the time because we don't think about ourselves
We
that way.
don't.
We're just too busy worried about everybody else that I don't have time to think about the things or how I influence people. I just do it. I'm a
Yeah.
doer.
We wait till either we're passed on or our retirement party or something.
Which is the sad part, but
Yeah.
that's what we learn now in our
Yeah.
midlife years,
Yeah.
that we've got to stop and smell those roses and celebrate those around us and show them how much we care for them and how good people are at what they do and what they bring to us.
What's a truth that you're still learning to live by?
Hmm.
That's a tough one.
Give me an example of what you're looking for. What's one of your truths that you're still learning to live by? Let me flip it.
Yeah. No, sure. How do I say this? It's standing up for myself, right?
Hmm.
It's being true to myself, right? When other people want other things from you and you're okay to say no.
Hmm.
And that's a truth that I'm still learning to live with, because I spent so much time being a people pleaser in my life
Yeah.
that now when you change, people don't like that,
Yeah.
right? They don't like it.
No, because they're so used to it.
Yeah, they're so used to getting their way with you.
Hmm.
So that would be it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a great one. I would say that for me too.
Yeah.
Ditto. And also putting myself first. It's very hard to do.
It is.
I'm still can't do it. I have to
Yeah.
do it, but it's hard.
It's family, it's kids, it's
It's hard.
husband, it's work, it's all this stuff that you put, yeah, in front of you. Finish this sentence. The world needs more.
Kindness, caring, more empathy. I think they just need to go back a little bit in time.
Yeah, it seemed like when we were in the pandemic, it felt like we were getting there, right? Like we were going back to that, a little more kindness, a little more, empathy.
Yeah.
Than now. And it seems like, especially I think in 26, things are gonna like fast track right back to what they were,
Hmm.
pre-pandemic. Last question.
Okay.
When your life journey comes to an end, how do you want to be remembered?
Oh, that's so depressing. It's like, what do you want to write on your tombstone?
Well, listen, we gotta look at the end of our lives like, it's a celebration.
Yeah.
Right? We're not here forever, and we hate thinking about it, but it's real, So, like, if you had to think about it, like, how do you want to be remembered from the people that love you,
Hmm.
right? The people that worked with you, the people that you call your closest friends.
I think the main thing that I want, and I can't remember the quote, I'm going to butcher it, but it's how I treated people. I just want people to remember how I treated them. I think that's the biggest thing. They don't remember the work that you made them do or the awards that you won. They just remember how they were treated. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Karen Geller.
Paula Giddens.
What a pod.
PG.
What a pod. I'm going to listen to this, and I'm just going to have this biggest smile on my face.
Oh my God. And see, this is what's embarrassing to me. This is like, I can't believe it. Can't believe I'm actually here with you
Well, I can't believe it either.
talking about this.
I can't believe we just talked about this stuff like we were going to do it. And like, yeah, I'm going to think about this podcast.
I know. We talked about a year ago,
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, yeah, one day.
And here we are. But the reason I have a big smile on my face is because you dropped a lot of knowledge today. You really did. Like,
I hope
honest to
so.
God,
If
you
I
did.
can inspire one thing, one key takeaway, then I did my job. But
Man, again, like, we sell ourselves short, and we should not do that. You have a lot to bring to the table.
oh, well, thank you for hyping me up. Thank you for the
I'm not
flowers.
hyping you up, man. I'm just being honest, and that's it. I'm just being honest. I set out on this mission because I knew there were certain people in my universe, my circle, that don't give themselves the flowers.
And I think that's what you're set out here to do.
Yeah.
Is you really made me pause and think, and I felt inspired just reading through what you're trying to do. Right?
Yeah.
So you're bringing everybody together to figure that out.
It's purpose and contribution is the thing I keep saying to everyone, right? I need to feel like a purpose, and I need to feel like I'm contributing before, my time comes. And if I can do that and leave us with this beautiful tape, right? That you and I spent, an hour talking, your boys at now will hear this and they probably go, oh, okay, cool, Mom. But when they're like 35 or 40 years old and it's going to be here, they're going to have this version of you.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah.
Isn't it not?
I love you, boys. Always will.
Right?
Right?
This is what I mean. They're going to have this version of their mother when they are maybe midlife, and they can go, oh my God, this is what she was saying about us.
Yeah, they don't realize it when they're young. They'll realize it later on.
That's to
thank
me is the
you.
purpose and the contribution.
Well, thank you, Paul, for doing it.
Thank you, Karen. Love you.
I love you. Love you more.
All right. What I loved about today's conversation is how clearly it shows that self-perception begins with where we come from. Our families, our cultures, our early influences, they shape the way we see ourselves. As we grow, That perception can either strengthen or shake our ability to trust ourselves. So here's a question to reflect on. How does your family story still shape the way you see yourself and the way you trust your own voice? Trusting yourself doesn't mean being perfect. It means believing you're worthy of your own choices, even when the outcome is uncertain. Thank you for listening to the Who Project podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's learning to trust themselves too. And remember, on the next episode, we'll explore another pillar of the truth framework. Until then, keep listening to your voice, keep living your truth out loud, and remember that your self-perception is your superpower.